Yay, good you're here. So then it's more fun when it's two or more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no rush. Eric is still getting ready. So take your time, get ready paper. Yeah. I don't know if you're putting the tape around. Yeah, I like to put tape around, then I get the nice frame around afterwards. Yeah. And there are really, yeah, not much colors today. So it's basically, it can be one green or it can be light and darker green. And then of course, blue mixing with white. Yes, it could be practical also to have lighter and darker blue. Yes. And then depending what kind of set you have, yeah, there often come these colors like sienna and ochre, yeah, that are basically just kind of darker yellow for ochre and lighter brown for sienna, and then brown. Yeah, so it's kind of the colors are simple today. It's going to be more exercise on blending. Yeah, so Eric was asking to practice, yeah, to match two colors nicely. Yeah, for example, like the sky is the typical exercise for blending. And yeah, and today we're going to do just this, yeah, two colors blending. So it's easy, and some other time we're going to try blending more colors in between. Yeah, like 3 or. And today I'll also tell you a little bit about perspective. So yeah, as you see, the windmills, big, small, smaller. Yeah, so there is also kind of some rules, yeah, with like the correct way to do the things. Yeah. So Eric, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Tom?
Sorry.
Yeah. So first we will start with the pencil sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have here a small piece of paper, but yeah, imagine like this is the full size of paper. Yeah. So the pencil sketch is kind of easy. Yeah. First we have to decide on where this horizontal line. Yeah. And it's also the rule, like never put it in the middle of the paper. Yeah, it always comes either more top or more at the bottom. Yeah, this comes more at the bottom. Yes, are standing. Yeah. And here I can make a little break. Yeah, as if the water coming there, kind of little island or something. So yeah, so this is one line where the grass is ending and the windmills will start. And then this bottom line can be a bit more, yes, it's also going a little bit in perspective. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm pressing hard, you can see, but you remember you can, with the pencil, it's like marking just for you to memorize, yeah, because then later we go with the paints. And yeah, so we have our island, the ground. Yeah, and then we just simply start with the first big windmill. Yes, you can also kind of mark, choose, yeah, how high it is. Let's say to here, this moving thing. So I can put here somewhere the roof. Yeah, it looks a little bit like mushroom. Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting in the bottom, they always have this smaller, like smaller part, something like this, yeah. So, and then we choose a circle on the roof part. Yeah, that's from where it's gonna starting the moving things. And then if you study the windmill, then you see like it has this thicker part, and it's kind of it's on one line, yeah. And then what changes just which side is going these thin lines of, yeah. And then on this side they're going the other way. And then the same with the another one. Then I draw like a thick line, and it's kind of going straight, yeah, through my circle. Yeah, and then I see which side I'm doing these thin lines, yeah, because they are kind of following the direction. If you get it wrong, you know, people may not notice it, but it's gonna create some weird feeling, you know, when you look and say, something is wrong. I don't know what's really wrong, but yeah. This is the window. And so the perspective rule is that all objects, they're coming into one point, yes? And they are coming into one point on this horizontal line. Because horizontal line is actually the line of our eyes, yeah? It can be higher, lower, it depends how we look at the objects. And it's easy to do, so we can choose the second windmill, yeah, how big it is, somewhere here, like, yeah, it's almost half smaller, yeah, so we can draw this second mushroom, yeah.
Janet, do you have to do 4 and you do like 3 or 2 or?
Yes, you can do, you know, if you have no space, you can do just 3. Yes, if you have more space, you can do more. Yeah, it's like in this small sheet also, I got lack of space. Yeah. So as it fits. Yeah. But you can, if you have a ruler, yeah, somewhere close to you, yeah, you might want to grab it. It's kind of sometimes comfy just to put the zero, because it's all the objects they are in one line. We're gonna follow also this line. So I kind of connect these two roofs. I connect the roof from the first windmill, and I connect the roof of the second windmill. And then I just kind of draw a line. Yeah, but it's like very lightly. Yeah, just very, I'll draw it more fast so you can see. But on your drawing, yeah, you do it it's like a reference. And then all the further windmills, all the further heads of mushrooms are going under this line. Yeah, so the third like will be, let's say, here, and the first will be even smaller under this line. Yeah, so this is kind of the way you do. Yeah, I can draw even smaller there. So, yeah, so once I have all these mushrooms, yeah, this is how I put them into the depths in the right size. Yeah. And then it's also easy to do this. You know, how big is this turning part? Yeah, so again, in one mushroom, I choose the circle. Yeah, it can be also, yeah, a little bit on the other side just to make it a bit different. And then you can see there's this turning thing is almost, yeah, it's going almost till the end of Yeah, this mushroom part. So this is how I can decide how big are these turning things for each windmill. Yeah, because the small windmill is going to have them smaller. Yeah, so of course you can also have it kind of a ceiling. And usually when you draw a lot and you practice, then with the time you have this feeling of the size of object. But sometimes you also measure it, and measuring it's always simply comparing, yeah, one size with another, and then just putting it. Yeah? So all the rest windmills I do the same. I draw the circle on the head, and then I do the line, yeah, the thick line that is more or less the size of this body of the mushroom. Yeah, and I can also choose different positions for these turning things. Yeah, maybe a little bit. And also don't worry making it like really perfect pencil drawing, because you remember we go with paints and changes. Yeah? So it's more like sketching, just for you to know where they live on the paper. But yeah, I can also, for example, pretend that these turning parts are behind, yeah, and then I don't draw the circle, and then I just kind of draw these parts, yeah, a little bit behind the window. Yeah. So in the end, for the small windmills, it's almost like no lines, no details. It's really, really like once we do the first windmill nicely, yeah, the rest is already the people understand that, and the windmills and yeah. So you can finish the drawing, or you're already so quick. Yeah, I see Eric.
Yeah,
Eric,
I'm good.
yeah, you're good. Nice.
And if you don't mind me asking, how's my camera? Because this is on my new phone, like the camera.
Oh, I see you perfectly. Yes, I see you in a good quality. So it was a nice gift. Yeah.
It's just that, like, I don't really take pictures on it. So.
Well, you have time to practice. Yeah. Experiment also. But yeah, the camera is really nice. I think it should be like new phone, because my phone has really bad camera. It's old, and yeah. I mean, now I'm using, of course, the laptop, but all right. Then we can move to the blending. Yes. All right. Yeah. So this is gone. Okay. There are few tips for the blending exercise. It's don't use too much water. Yes, it's better to use thicker paint. Yes, you use just as much water, so like it moves on the paper, but not so it's too liquidish. Yeah, otherwise it's going to be hard to blend. Yeah, because it's so then we choose the paints. We go with the light blue, and then we do much more white. Yeah, it's always when you do the sky, just yeah, a little bit of this light blue and really a lot of white, and then you will get the color. Yeah, that's.
So we're starting from the bottom.
Say again, Eric.
So we're starting from the bottom.
Yes, we're gonna start with the light, exactly, with the horizon, and we go up. There are different. Sometimes people say it's better to start with the darker color, and it is because when you later get into with the light, yeah, it's easier, because when you get into with the dark, the dark kind of overcomes. Yes, but like I've tried both, and I really prefer starting with the light and just taking more space with the light color. Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of color half of the page or more, and then I go slowly with the dark. Yeah, but let's start. So we have our horizontal line, and I'm gonna prepare. So here I have a bunch of white and a tiny tip of this light blue. Yeah, and it's still like I'm almost always I get like still too dark as I want, and I'm adding more white. Yeah, so it's kind of also that with time one already knows. Yeah, and then I just start. So the lightest light blue color you can get. Yeah, you go. And here also don't worry marking your windmills. Yeah, I'm kind of going a little bit around them, but just as much to remember where they are, where they live. But generally, I have no worries, and I just go over. Yeah, especially these turning things. For them, I don't really care. Yeah, I just go over with the paint, and really tiny bit water. I just kind of just touch a little bit with my brush the water. Yeah, and so still like just put more paint. Yeah, and it will be easier to blend. Yeah. So once I did this kind of first layer, yeah, then on my palette I can go.
Draw the outline first.
Say again, Eric.
I'm doing the outline first, and then I'm gonna color in. I find it easier to do the outline of like the windmill
sure.
in the like blue, and then.
All right, yeah, of course you can. As I said, like both techniques are yeah. I just prefer to start with light because it's also for the brush. Yeah, it's easier to get brush more darker because you start with light, do as much light as you need. I also put a little bit of this light on the start where the water is. Yeah, so then, because we all know making darker on painting is easier, yeah, than later. So it's kind of, I try to do this light and then I save these spots, yeah, as much as I can. And now I kind of slowly start darkening my, yeah, so let's say I just maybe take just this blue without mixing with white, yeah, so light blue, maybe just a little bit white. And I go here, yeah. What happens, of course, with acrylics, they dry very fast. So I'm putting, like now, they don't really blend. So what I do, I add a little bit of water, but it's just like making my brush a little bit wet. Yeah, and then I kind of go in this border, yes? And like this, I get the mix in between, but still, like be careful and go with the, if it's kind of moving too dark to your light side, then you just either you stop and clean your brush, or you just move with your brush like to the upper side, yeah, till the brush gets cleaner itself, you know, by losing the paint on paper, and then you can come back with a cleaner brush, like without paint, and blend it, yeah, in between. Yeah, so here I can put more dark, and yeah, and then let's say I have this other color of blue. Yeah, I can also, let's say I can take it pure, yeah, and start right on the top. Yeah, it's very, very contrast. blending is in blue. It's very common because, of course, many paintings have sky. Yeah, so and blues in between, they're the same, of course, light blue, dark blue. Yeah. So some other time we're gonna try to blend other colors. Like, for example, when we do the sky, yes, and when you do the sunset and the sunset colors, and then of course you do this yellow sun, and then you go with some orange and red, yes, around. And then it's very always, one must be careful because you have some blue, of course, but then you have to be careful not mixing it with yellow, yes, because it's gonna get green. And green has nothing to do with yeah, the sky. Yeah. So now I've started this very dark on top, and now I'm trying to get, yeah, the color in between. Yeah, and it can be both. Maybe mixing your also light blue together with the dark blue, and maybe also white. So, yeah. But if you feel, yeah, the thing is getting too dark and you don't want it, then you just clean your brush. You clean your brush, and then, like with the a little bit wet but clean brush, then you can go and nicely blend in between. Yes, it's just one. Don't have to be lazy with this. Yeah, so once you feel, oh no, it's not getting the way I want, you stop and clean your brush. Yeah? Because there is no other way. Yeah? And if, let's say, you got some parts like, oh no, I don't know what to do, all too dark, then it's also kind of just going with the white on top. It can also work. Yeah. Yeah, and also don't worry if it's not like really smooth. Yeah, we're gonna do all these white clouds, and then they're gonna cover any connection lines, yeah, that you might have. So no worries if it's really yeah. And then we do also the water. Yeah, it's also similar. It might be also maybe yeah, let's say it could be maybe more dark on the bottom. Mm-hmm. For example, you can also use a little bit different blue for the water. Yeah, it can be maybe some blue that is more to purple. Yeah, depending what paints you have available. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll leave this thin line for the island. Mm-hmm. And what is also good, of course, is the paper towels. Yeah, like for myself, I got now all too wet and all too dark. And I can actually, while it's still wet, I can just wipe it. Here, I wiped it out, and it's back light, and then I just wait. Yeah, I wait till it's dry a bit, and then I can get in. Yeah, or also try sometimes just putting white on your brush. Yeah, and also getting in. Yeah. And once again, this one doesn't have to be really perfect because we're gonna do some reflections of the clouds in the water and some lines that feels like its movement of water. Yeah, so it's all just the base color for now. Yeah, with this base. And we're gonna leave it. We're gonna go for yeah, the island windmills. And then later we're gonna do the clouds. Yeah, clouds is fun to do with the fingers. Yeah, I'll show you. It's very easy and nice.
Well, you'll get your fingers dirty.
Yeah, but it's a white color, so it's not so
Yeah.
bad.
You really tell that the clouds, they're really watery.
Exactly, acrylics wash is easy, and sometimes even if I'm still painting, yeah, sometimes I even dip my finger into the glass of water a little bit, wash it there, dry with the paper towel, and can continue. Yeah, unless if I'm already finished, then of course I go to the sink. Yeah. So we'll go putting slowly colors like green and these.
Oh, Jenny, can you still wait?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'll wait. I won't go. Yeah, sorry.
I'm so because after like I'm doing one line and then I have to do a drop of white, one line, then another drop of white. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. Remember, cleaning the brush can really help. Yeah. Or sometimes I use parallel different brushes. Sometimes I have one brush for dark things, and at the same time I have brush for like white, and I just switch them, and it saves me time of washing the brush each time. Yeah, so this also sometimes. Yeah, so it's always easy. I find it easier to start with this light blue. Yes, because I can put it if I want on all the paper. Yeah? And then kind of slowly, just as much as I need to get into the with this dark. Yeah? And of course, with time, you already kind of practice it. We know everything is just practice. And yeah, of course, my first blendings were also disaster. All got too dark. Yes, and so.
Tell me if like you want to start or anything. Because you could go on, because like I'm almost finished this.
All right, I'll just do it slowly, so then you can also see and follow. Yeah, so I'm putting a little bit of green color. Yeah, and then I'm putting this. So I have ochre. It's kind of just dark yellow, and I will put brown. Yeah, that is burnt umber. And then it depends. You can.
Oh, I didn't do my work.
Yeah. And you can stay just either with these three, or I can add also in between sienna. That is something in between. Yeah, but it's very similar to. Yes, and I will start. So I will need my brush clean and dry. Yeah, so I clean it well in my ways in the water, and then sometimes I just like take water out with the fingers. Yeah, just kind of Yeah, my fingers stay a little bit wet, but it's okay, but it helps me. Then the brush is kind of in a nice condition. Yeah, it doesn't have this water dripping. Yeah, and why I want it now dry, because I will go with the green for this upper part of island, and then remember, like this almost vertically, just like tipping. Yeah, so then I have not a straight line, but feels a little bit like yeah, it's bushes. And somewhere I can make a bit higher, maybe. Yeah, so it's basically just yeah, and of course to the end of the island, I make it very like small, tiny. Yeah, the line goes again, the perspective. Yes, what is close to us is always bigger. What is far away always smaller. Yeah, because the paper we have, it's just 2 dimensions, but how we show these differences is by putting objects that are close to us bigger and objects that are far away smaller. Yeah, imagine the birds. If I want to show that bird is far away, I do just a little tick. But if I paint it more fat, then it feels the birdie is closer. Yeah, then I'll go, I clean my brush from green, and I want a little bit more clean this. So this color in between, this kind of dark, yeah, yellow ochre. Yes, and I go again, so it's like tipping in between, because the bottom of my island, I'm gonna have brown. Yeah, and it's gonna be more like a line. Yeah, so I'm just creating something yellow in between, so it looks more. Yeah, if for example you got over with the blue too much, for example, I'm going now over my blue also. Yes, because I don't have space, clean space that I left, and it's okay. I can. And what I can also do, I can do just few lines underwater. Yeah, it's like reflection of an island, but it's very. I use it exactly when I already have a little paint in my brush. Yes, it's also good always to feel, aha, I have a little paint in my brush, then I can do these things, because then I'm on safe place that, yeah, they're not gonna ruin, they're not gonna be going with too much paint. Yes. And then if you wish, you can take a smaller brush, yeah, for the brown part. Yeah, I can wait. And then the brown part.
Dania,
Yes.
start with green
Yes.
yellow, because I just finished like my my shade.
Yeah, I'll repeat, no worries. So what I did with the green, yeah, then clean your brush, make it pretty much dry. Yes, so then we can get, yeah, this tipping. Yeah, so then it looks fluffy is a grass. It's because my brush is dry. If it's gonna be wet, it's not gonna work, because then it's gonna be watery. So clean dry brush, tap it in your green, like vertically, and then I go vertically tapping and creating my grass. Yeah, and here on the left corner, I can do a bit more. Yeah, because remember this is closer to us. And then I even put my brush a little bit horizontal, and it's just little tapping, so it's leaving just a little bit of green. Yeah, I need to get this green part, yeah, going more thin. Yes, because this is what creates this perspective. Yeah, especially imagine we've put the windmills. So in real life, it's like a long distance. Yeah, so the difference has to be really, you have to really feel, yeah, the size, the big size on the left, and then going thinner. Yeah. And then once you did it, yeah, here I also leave some space in between. Looks nice, as if water goes away, and then a little island, one more. And then you clean your brush, no green in it, and you go into your ochre. Yes, so dark yellow, and it's also a little bit, yeah, creating this yellow part like island. Yeah, it can be also a little bit tapping, a little bit just moving. Yes, but again, the same rule. Yeah, going thinner, going smaller, thinner line, yeah, to the end. And then I've changed my brush. I took smaller brush for the brown part, because the brown part I want to be more like a line. Yes, it will create a feeling of thickness of island. Yes, and yeah, I can start on the left side to stay safe, to see how my brown is working. Yes, and I can get also over, yeah, over the yellow a bit. Yeah, and then I go creating the thickness of island. Yeah. Yeah, so it's really not much. I just did one line with brown, and that's enough. Yeah, don't go too much with brown. Yeah, because it's inevitably gonna, like, in the end of my island, I didn't even did the brown. Yeah, I just did it more in the start here. And I can do then with the brown this little island here in front. It's always good to put some objects like on the foreground. Yeah. And then I can come back maybe, yeah, create this little island. Let's say. Yeah, if you did, let's say, too much brown and you don't like how it looks, then you can always come back with more yellow. Yeah, and just go like over your brown line. Yeah, and then it's gonna cover it in some parts. You know. Yeah, and I will also try to do a little bit of reflection on the water. Yes, this is very, of course, very subtle.
Jenny,
Yes.
Water, so I'll just start it now. Because I was too busy on my sky, and then.
So where are you now?
Yeah, the water. I finished the island.
Okay, so
like the land.
Yeah, so you're ready.
So I'll just start.
Okay,
like, the thing what you were just doing, like, right now.
Okay. So you're starting with the green and yellow and brown, yes?
Yeah, I just finished that. So
you finished already, but it's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, well done. Then you're fast and quick, then we can go to windmills. It's also no worries, you can always come back, yeah, and to do some touch. Yeah. Like when it's dry, it's always easier. Yeah, so what we do with windmills, first, we're gonna get some light color. Let's say it can be this sienna. Yes, it's kind of light brown. And we're gonna just color the head and the body. Yes, no worries about this all turning stuff. Yes, so I just create my head. And I'm not worrying about it because it's gonna be darker. Yeah, so I go with this light brown for the body of the windmill. And then later, yeah, I'm gonna do the. Yeah, so first we're gonna do all your windmills. Doesn't matter how much you have them, just all with this one color. Yes, it's also gonna give us time to let them dry. Yeah, because it's especially when you want to add details, just give some time to dry. Yeah, it can be just 1-2 minutes, but it's gonna save you a lot of trouble because if it's wet, the details are just floating. Yeah, and it's getting messy. Yeah, that's why always good technique is just go to another corner of your painting, do something there, and then come back. Yeah, so now I'm drawing just these mushrooms. Yeah, you see, I don't even do now this bottom, yeah, because it's gonna be just darker.
Okay.
Yeah, my 4. What is very important when you draw paint like a house? Yeah, so basically, it's just like a square of where the walls are, and you do the roof. But it's always important to put the shadow under the roof. Yes, once you do it, it like once makes it feels like a house. Yeah, it's because we all are get used to, yeah, in our brains to see this dark line, this shadow under the roof. Yeah, so we're gonna do the same with the windmills. Yeah, we're going into the brown.
Zhenya,
Yes.
what color do you use for the windmills? Like, what brown?
Yeah, so windmills, I've used this, it's called sienna, raw sienna or sienna natural. Yeah. Depends which one you have, but it's like light brown. Yes. It just has to be lighter than the typical brown, because with the brown we're gonna do all this turning stuff. Yeah.
Use ochre because that's like the only like.
Yes,
color.
ochre is also good. Ochre and sienna, they're really similar. Yeah, just sienna is more closer to brown, and ochre is more closer to yellow. Yeah, that's. Yeah, so you just take one color and you create these mushrooms.
Tom, how are you with the homework?
I'm finished.
How are you finished?
Because I'm good at Fortnite.
Okay. We got quite a lot of homework though.
Yeah.
You must have got help off like your mom or dad, didn't you?
No.
I don't. I made like this fat blob of brown and it's like so heavy now, Jenya.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It sounds like one of these like really bad brushes what like my mom bought for like €1.50, like €1.50. And like she was like, oh yeah, I think we need to get you new brushes. Like don't use them. You have like lots of other ones, and I do have lots of other ones. This one was just like kind of like good for this.
mm.
And like, since it's like so cheap, like the wood doesn't even feel like real wood. It feels
Yeah.
like plastic. And because of it, like the brush is bending.
But I think it makes logic what your mom did, because when you start, you just buy cheap and
Yeah.
see if you like painting or not. Yeah, but if you like, then you invest in some better stuff, and yeah. So and then you also value. Oh yes, this brush. You know. So
It's so
nice,
great.
like your second season of painting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll
Spend-
go a little bit forward with the shadows of the windmills. Yeah. So very important to put the shadow here under the. Yeah, and it can be a little bit curvy. Yeah, because the head is round, so the shadow is a little bit not straight. Yeah.
Instead of making the like color darker, I made it lighter.
I mean, for the body of the windmill, yeah, it should be lighter. And then we
For
go.
the like for the first one it was light and then it should get darker.
A little bit, yes. I mean, if that's very good, you've noticed this. I didn't mention, I didn't want to complicate you guys, but that's true that once it go far away, it's also
Darker.
exactly, yeah. Mhm.
I already knew that, so it wasn't really that big of a problem for me.
But it also depends. For example, let's say if I'm painting trees or mountains, then the ones that are closer to me, I will make more darker. Now let's say mountain in front, it's going to be very dark, and then the one that is in background, I'm going to do light. Yes, so there are rules, but sometimes still, yeah, it differs in some parts. I would say for the objects, the houses, we do it darker because it's just far away and it feels more like one spot. Yeah, but if I'm talking more about space, yeah, like mountains or many trees, yeah, then the one closer I make darker. Yeah, so you see, once you do the shadows, it's already like, okay, yeah, thanks, all these mushrooms. Yeah, and then I can go for circle. Yeah, I remember I can also choose different positions of the circle. Or on some windmill, I can say, okay, the circle is kind of behind. Yeah, that could be also interesting. Yeah, and then So the trick, painting all these thin lines, yeah, nicely. So first, yeah, I got paint on my brush. And in this moment, the brush should be a little bit more wet. Yes, because we know when the brush is dry, it kind of doesn't paint. Yeah, that's why we call these brush marks, that sometimes we really need them and it's cool. Yeah. But when I need thin long line, then I do make my brush a bit more wet. Yeah. But also what's the secret is making lighter. So let's say if I this thick line of this stuff, I make thick, yeah, and it's just okay. Simply painting, yeah, a thick line. Yeah, and then I go and then once I feel I have little paint on my brush, yeah, that's the moment when you do this. Don't go for more color, yeah, but then if I need, I make my brush maybe a little bit more wet if it gets dry. But this is the moment when I do these thin lines because I have little paint on my brush. Yeah, and that's how it's also.
I'm using my watercolor pencil for this.
Yes, of course. Yeah, but it's very good. Yeah, it's good to.
I want to find like a tin brush, so I just use these. Like,
yeah, I know it's sometimes hard to make. So of course, yes, use your because they're really cool. Yeah.
thing is, like, after a little while, on like the bits that I painted over in blue, I have to like wipe it off, and then sometimes the blue can spread.
Mm.
And it's really annoying. Most of the time, after like a few strokes, I have to wet it again.
Mm.
But it still does the job, and they're actually really good to use. Like if I'm drawing something like this,
Yes.
something like super thin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And as you want, maybe first you want to go and create all these cut lines of this moving. How you call this moving things?
Propeller.
Yes, it's logical.
Because like the thing what spins.
Yeah, very good.
Jenny, if you don't mind me asking, since you're an architect, how do you have like so much time to like draw? Like today you could draw with us, and then also on Saturday you could draw.
Yeah, well, I don't really work full time, like in the office. Yeah, I used to, but not anymore. Yeah, so I have some projects, yeah, that I'll do, but generally I have time during the day. Yeah, so I just
That's nice.
yeah.
But at school, you don't have the option not to do a project. Or you can't do like something.
Yeah.
Like people, what's called the real world will be like way harder. I know that's gonna be way harder, but for now it's kind of annoying. School.
Mm. Well, I mean, school is kind of your work. Yeah. So, and of course, I mean, I mean, sometimes it can be hard, all the tests and stuff, but in general,
It's not too hard.
yeah,
It's
well,
just that work is just annoying.
annoying. Why is it annoying?
Because like something could be really easy, but they make you do it in a really annoying way.
I,
Tom, do you agree with that? That like Mr. McGraw, he can make us like do 1 + 1, but he'll make you multiply it, then divide it, and then subtract it, and then add it again or something.
Then, I don't know. Do a method you were never taught.
Because he's one of those people, like our teacher this year, he's like one of those people who's kind of nice, but like he'll make you do a lot of work. Like he's trying to like make you do the work, like in a really childish way. But we're like grown out of it, so we know what he's trying to do.
But is it only one teacher then?
Yeah, we only have one teacher, like for the whole school year.
Ah, I see.
So we're gonna have Miss Coloring.
Yeah, like we're gonna have 2 teachers this year
Mm-hmm.
because like we don't know where like that one went, so we have to have like last year in 5th class that also happened. They had a substitute for like half a year, and then they turned out to be like one of the helpers in school. So. I think this drawing will actually come out pretty decent this time. I think I'll be happier with this one.
Yeah, I think I have like more simple shapes to paint because sometimes I complicate too much, like with little details. And yeah, so I can add some kind of more details on the first windmill.
Tom, is everything okay?
I'm almost finished.
Yes, we have the clouds left.
Kind of like.
Yeah, so. Yeah, so for the clouds, nice. We have all our skies dry. Yeah, and then we need just a bigger pile of white. And then again, the brush better dry than wet. Yeah, so it's going to be just actually just putting some amount of white, a bit like thicker, and then spreading it a little bit with the finger. So I got some amount of white on my brush.
Daniel, I got a idea for art. I don't really know how to explain it, but I'll send you like a picture.
Cool. Yeah. I'll wait. Yeah, let's know when you're back when and then we do the clouds together.
Eric.
Yeah.
So this, I've been done painting for a while, and I've just been doing this huge project. I made a huge L, and
I can't see because I'm like looking.
yeah, I know, I'm not showing it. I just made a huge L.
Oh.
I made a story, but I covered it up with the L.
And then there's one more.
All right. Yeah.
Eric,
Yes.
would you like to see my massive L?
I can't see it yet, but like I'll tell you when.
Okay.
Mm. There. Okay, there you go. Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I realized something that I sent. It was the link, but I didn't press the send button.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay. I've got the link. No worries. Oh no, I can
Yeah.
see it. I've opened it. Yeah.
it's just I had two, and then
Yeah. Oh, very
Yeah,
nice ocean painting.
and then there.
Yeah. Well, come back. We do the clouds, and then later you can send me. Oh, the second
Yeah.
one is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
They were just three that I saw and I wanted to do. So.
Yeah, very nice. The second one is very. I actually also saw the similar one, and then I thought it could be nice, more shapy. Okay, ready for the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So some pure white. Yeah. Somewhere. Yeah, if you have it or get a little bit more. Yeah, and then the brush is kind of dry. Yeah. And what I do, I choose where my cloud is going to be living. When I put this, this white, at the bottom, the cloud is more straight, maybe. It's more pink. And then what I do, I just kind of, blend it with my finger. Yeah, and then it looks nice. Yeah. Then
Are we just doing the clouds now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, we're ready with Windmills. Yeah.
So just like a blob of white and then blend it with your finger.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you choose how big and where. Yeah, here maybe one.
I'll use my palette knife.
Here on the top, it looks like a bit moving with the wind, maybe. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, and I also use, like, for the first cloud, I had a lot of white, but then I continue with my brush, and it had less white, and then I create less white cloud. So.
I have like a really good idea for a cloud. So I'm just going to try to do that first. And it's turning out perfect, what I wanted it to be. maybe a little too wide.
Okay.
I've done my clouds.
And also don't forget to do a little bit like cloud reflection in the water. Yeah, so it's not really shape of cloud, more like just straight lines. Still, it looks nicer. Yeah, so just a little bit, some lines on the water. Yeah, and then it's also will look a little bit lighter, and feeling that, yeah, maybe it's like the.
Eric,
Yeah.
would you like to see my L?
Yes.
Okay. I'm finished it now. Let me just move away my painting. Oh, this is gonna be nice.
Laptop.
Yeah. Good idea. So, okay. Is bottom part.
Wow, looks nice.
L.
It says OOL. No, it says KOOL. So cool.
What is that supposed to mean?
It says KOOL, and the L is the massive L, and the KOO were under my painting.
So cool, but spelt wrong.
Exactly. Just adding the finishing touches. Maybe.
Because this is
Hello.
clouds, yeah, because this is very fun and I don't want to wash my finger. Because it's going to take quite a while to wash off.
Yeah, so today we did blending with brush and also some blending with a nose. Yeah. And I really liked the image you sent me, the second one.
I didn't, but it didn't.
No, it's black.
That wasn't that one for me.
That's painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to wash off my finger.
Sure, yeah. So is your painting finished?
Yes, I'll take a picture in a minute. I just need to wash my finger.